stay committed. But we have to move
so
on
they can
now.
be another second round exit again.
Let's go now to our third question. Let's go now to the NBA Finals, as the finals have officially began last week. Trey, his Celtics, they lost game two, pretty pathetic fashion. It was a blowout, essentially. But they did take game one, impressed in game one as they exploded in the fourth quarter for 40 points compared to the Warriors 16 to take game one, as the series is 1-1 going back to Boston. So with the NBA Finals tied at one apiece, where do you stand as far as everyone's predictions go? The predictions that you originally made. TK, I'll start with you.
Man, I really didn't think that the Celtics would still won, man. Like Trey, I'm looking at you when I say this, bro. I did not expect the Celtics to still win, and y'all did, man. So I'm still gonna lean towards the Warriors in six. I think the okay. So I think Celtics won the first game. Warriors won game two. I think Warriors win game three. Celtics win game four, and then I think the Warriors win out the last two. Um, I don't know, man. I after that game too, bro. Like the Warriors looked like exactly what I thought they would look like against the Celtics team, man. I understand y'all defense is stout. I understand it's elite, but the Warriors, they just have so many options, bro. Like on offense, trade. That was what I said originally before game one. I said that the fact that they have so much, they literally have so many options. You can go from Poole to Wiggins, who aren't even really guys that are talked about, who are guys that are capable of dropping 30, like I said. And then, like I said, you got to worry about Steph, got to worry about Clay. Draymond looked elite on defense in game two. Like, I mean, you just got a lot of bodies out there, bro. Like it's a lot of options out there, bro. And because of that reason, I'm still gonna lean with the Warriors in six. Man, I was nice giving y'all two games, Trey, man. And y'all gotta show me something in the next two games, man, for me to change my mind. Like I said, but I will stick with the one thing that I said to kind of, you feel me, give my dog Trey some love. If y'all do get to a game seven somehow, some way, I don't think it happens. But if y'all do get to a game seven, I think Celtics winning game seven. Anything else, though, I'm taking the Warriors game one through six, man. But if y'all somehow, like I said, manage to get to a way to a game seven, bro, I'm taking the Celtics. But like I said, man, the Warriors look like exactly what I thought they would look like in game two. I don't know what the hell happened game one. I think the Celtics, I think the Warriors, they just didn't take the Celtics serious. They kind of went out there, just didn't take it serious at all. I mean, like I said, bro, when the Celtics came out, they came out hot and they kind of just took the game over throughout the entire game, bro. And there was really just no chance for the Warriors to even, you feel me, get any type of rhythm or groove at all. So yeah, right now I'm still gonna leave with the Warriors. After what I saw from game two, I'm gonna leave with the Warriors in game six. Um, but yeah, like I said, man, if the Celtics can get to a game seven, I'm taking the Celtics.
G?
Um, I picked the Warriors in five before the series started. Honestly, because of what happened in game two. Game one, that fourth quarter. Entering that fourth quarter, the Warriors were up by 12. Um, at one point late in the third quarter, they were up by 17. The Warriors in game one looked like they were going to blow out the Celtics, but the Celtics in the fourth quarter went 10 of 12 from three. That that that's how you have to beat the Warriors, honestly, in this series. You gotta be that hot at a certain point to beat the Warriors. Um, because the Warriors are gonna go on their third quarter run always. Doesn't matter what's the score. If the Celtics are up by 10, 15, the Warriors are gonna go on that third quarter run, and they're gonna take over the game. And game one, I don't know what happened to them in that fourth quarter, but they couldn't close out on shooters. That they I think it's like mental lapses, honestly. Like Draymond couldn't close on this shooter. Horford, they got too comfortable. I think they let the Celtics be too comfortable in that fourth quarter and left them open all the time, honestly. And the Celtics took advantage of that. They started in that quarter 8 of 8 from three. That's unheard of, honestly. That's the way you can beat the Warriors, honestly. You better hope like your shots are going in and you can outshoot them, basically. That's how you beat the Warriors, honestly. And I pick Warriors in 5. I think it's going to go 6. And I think the Warriors win. But it's just crazy, though, the third quarter runs that the Warriors have gone in these two games. If they keep it going, I don't know if Boston can match it, honestly. And they struggle
So
at
what
home.
you're saying? So what you're saying is you basically have to out three the Warriors, which is impossible.
Yeah.
That's basically what you're saying. That good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, because if you see what happened in game 1 and game 2, look at those two games completely. The Celtics, I think, went 21 of 40 from 3 in game 1. That's how you have to beat them, really. And then this game, they kind of struggled from 3. Like, when you play the Warriors, you're going to play some good defense. You're going to be able to maybe slow them down at times. But when it's the third quarter, it's just impossible. And you just have to have the firepower in that second half. If you don't have the firepower in the second half, I just can't see you being the Warriors. That's the same thing about Dallas, because people were picking Dallas to win the series against, and a lot like I said during the Dallas series before it started, I said the same thing. Can they match pound for pound shooting wise? And I just couldn't see it really in this series too.
Okay, that's fair. I'm still sticking with my original prediction, Warriors in 6, but I just want to read a few stats from the role players on both teams. In game 1, Al Horford was the leading scorer for the Celtics with 26 points. Marcus Smart had 18 points. Robert Williams had 8 points. Derek White off the bench, 21 points. For Golden State in game 1, Draymond had 4 points. Andrew Wiggins had 20 points. Kevin Looney had 4 points. Jordan Poole with only 9 points. Their leading scorer off the bench was Al Horford with 12. Meanwhile, in game 2, you had Jordan Poole go out for 17 points. Gary Payton, in his return, finished with 7. They were both off the bench. Andrew Wiggins had 11. Klay Thompson had 11. Kevin Looney had 12. But they did go on that insane run in the third quarter. And for the Celtics, outside of Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, Al Horford, Marcus Smart, and Robert Williams all had 2 points. 2 points. They were combined 6 points from 3 out of your 5 starters. Your next leading scorer, the only guy that got into double digits outside of Tatum and Brown, was Derek White with 12 points. That's not going to cut it. And I said this after game 1. It's whoever's role players are going to step up for their team. And that's been the theme essentially of this series so far. In game 1, it was Boston's role players that got them the win. In game 2, it was Golden State's role players that got them the win. Whoever comes out in game 3 hitting their shots are going to win that game. Uh, Boston, I said before the series even started, they are definitely inconsistent. And trying to go pound for pound, like Gianni said, with trying to beat the Warriors from 3 is damn near impossible. You have to stay consistent throughout the entire series in order to do that. And, Boston, they've gotten away with it through the Eastern Conference, but as we all know, the Warriors, when they're clicking, they're clicking. And I don't think we're going to see as many fourth quarter collapses as we saw in the first game of this series. So it's going to be definitely a steep hill to climb back from, but they'll be up for the challenge, I am assuming. Trey, you weren't here last week for the predictions before the series. Now that you've gotten to see 2 games, what do you think so far?
So far, I think that Celtics can't let it go to Game 7, because if it does, we're going to have a tough time winning out in San Francisco. All right? It's going to be a tough time winning out there. We got to win this thing in 6. Now, here's the good thing about I feel good about last night. You know why I feel good about last night? Because last night was just a bunch of bullshit, right? And it won't never happen again. Okay? Marcus Smart, terrible game on offense, right? He's not the best offensive player, but he also was turning the ball over way too much. He was passing it, passes was going out of bounds. Tatum was turning the ball over way too much. He was just losing the handle. And then in the second quarter, right? Celtics had like a 15 or 17-point lead. We were whooping their ass to start the game. And then out of nowhere, bullshit just started happening. The turnover started happening. Niggas is asking for foul calls instead of getting back on transition defense. That's what started happening. Okay? That's how they came in and they took the lead going into halftime by 2 points. After that, we didn't stand any chance, okay? I seen a stat say Tatum went for like 2 of 10 from field goal range, third quarter, whatever. That's
Negative
because
46 plus minus.
cares, nigga. He still had 28 points. He was hooping. He was just getting fouled so much, and it wasn't called. But you know what? That's in the past. That's in the past. That's yesterday's news. I can't be mad about it anymore. We're moving on. Al Horford. Yes, he only had 2 points, but he only took 4 shots. And 3 out of the 4 shots, he was getting hounded in the paint. No calls. Draymond was jumping all over this nigga's neck. Looney was jumping all over this nigga's neck. Okay. Robert Williams, he only had 2 points, but he only took 1 shot. So whatever, okay? He only took 1 shot. Marcus Smart, don't even want to talk about that. Jaylen Brown, he kind of disappeared after halftime, most definitely. And then when the Celtics did get to the free throw line, these niggas was missing the shots. Only our free throw shooting could have been better. Man, maybe would have had a chance. The whole team, the bench cleared. They cleared the bench with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Okay, so the score is super misleading because Golden State still played some of their starters while we had our whole bench in. Tried to run up a score. I took that very personal. I know the team's gonna take that personal. I know Gianni mentions Celtics don't have a good winning record at home in the playoffs. This is finals basketball, okay? First finals in Boston since 2010. This atmosphere is going to be crazy, all right? And all I have to say is that our fans are going to be a key part to us winning game 3. Key part, all right? Draymond Green is a bitch. He almost got 2 technicals that game. But you know, they have that little rule where you got to protect certain players, yada yada. That's bullshit, whatever. He's a bitch, okay? His defense, it was great. But he was fouling, he was tackling niggas, he was pushing niggas, he was doing all that bullshit. Nigga was setting illegal moving screens the whole game. I could go on.
They were letting them play.
Shut up, nigga. They was
They
letting
were
the
letting them
Warriors.
play.
They were letting the
It
Warriors
happened
play.
game 1 too.
They were
It happened
letting the
game 1
Warriors
too.
play. No, in game 1, they were letting everyone play. In game 2, they were letting the Warriors play, nigga. I sent the proof earlier. Don't want to go over
All right.
that.
Yeah.
Last thing I'm gonna say about it, then we can move on. Tony Brothers, you are not a brother. You're a bitch. Because if you was a brother, a real brother, you wouldn't have pulled that bullshit that you did last night. So from now on, change your name from Tony Brothers to Tony Bitch. Son, cracker, you're not a real brother. You're a fraud. You're a phony. Okay? Free vitiligo, you Uncle Ruckus ass nigga. You was with them light brights, you fake black. That's all I have to say about the game. Game 3, Celtics, we got that. It's gonna be a different atmosphere, okay? It's not gonna be that bad. Not going to be that bad.